Coming up on today's show, customer deliveries of the Tesla Model 3 standard range finally start in North America. Big Oil uses dirty tricks to use retired employees to campaign against EV charging policies, and the Bolt EV gets spotted in Australia. These stories and more coming next. Welcome back to another roundup in the world of cleaner, greener, safer and smarter transportation. I'm back in the virtual studio after a week in front of the bookcase. Thank you for the kind comments on the new set, by the way, and I'm ready to share all the news that you need to know. Deliveries of entry-level, standard range Tesla Model 3 cars have begun in North America. Based on the Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus, the Standard Range Model 3 is as basic as you can get with a Tesla, with some features like live navigation data software disabled. Range is also software locked to 220 miles. The news comes at the same time as a leaked email from Elon Musk was published online. In it, he says that Tesla has, quote, a lot of vehicle deliveries to catch up to in order to have a successful quarter. If it succeeds, Musk says that Tesla will set a new quarterly delivery record. Fiat Chrysler, a company that's not known for being all that interested in cleaner, greener cars, made an official merger proposition to Renault this week. The merger would see the two companies pool their resources and, if it goes ahead, would create one of the largest and most diverse automakers in the world. As part of the merger, FCA would of course gain access to absolutely all of Renault's electric vehicle platforms and models. It's not clear where the merger would leave Nissan though, a long-term shareholder and partner of Renault under the Renault-Nissan-Mitsubishi alliance. Volkswagen is reshuffling its plans for electric vehicle battery sourcing after Samsung SDI, one of its chosen battery suppliers for its upcoming range of ID electric cars, scaled back its battery cell commitments. Originally, Samsung SDI had planned to make 20 gigawatt hours of batteries for the company, but now it looks as if it will only supply 5 gigawatt hours to Volkswagen. It's now busy trying to find a new or existing partner to take up that missing supply slack. The Chinese market Tesla Model 3 was officially priced this week, with customers expected to pay the equivalent of $47,500 for the Model 3 Standard Range Plus. While that's more than a US customer will pay for a US market model, this Chinese-made Model 3 will begin to roll off the production line in 6 months and is significantly cheaper for Chinese buyers than an imported US-made Model 3. Demand was so high after official pricing that Tesla's website actually struggled to keep up with traffic. Big Oil has long been the arch-rival of plug-in cars, and while many old fossil fuel companies are finally coming around, the Arizona Republic uncovered a plot by Chevron to try and oppose a new proposed rule in the Grand Canyon state that would require utility companies to start building electric vehicle charging stations. It asked local Chevron retiree association members to write to or call their legislators, as independent citizens of course, to voice opposition to the rule which would, quote, give undue advantage in favour of electric cars. It even provided phone scripts and form letters. Not cool. The diminutive but super cute Honda E may not be a car that everyone around the world will be able to buy. It's currently European market only, but a week after the order books opened, it seems demand is pretty darned high for this compact hatch. And this week we learned that Honda will keep the side view cameras that it displayed on the Honda E prototype, making it the first compact car to go on sale to feature side view cameras rather than mirrors. Using cameras instead of mirrors is said to improve energy efficiency by 3.8%. It's official. In most of the world, onshore wind and solar photovoltaic power generation is less expensive than any fossil-fueled power generation option, even without financial assistance. That's the verdict of the latest report by the International Renewable Energy Agency, which says that cost forecasts for solar and wind energy continue to outperform earlier expectations. Essentially, you'd have to be a big citrus reticular nincompoop to support coal or any other fossil fuel today. Volocopter, one of a number of companies racing to bring autonomous eVTOL air taxis to market, has announced that it will be building its first Voloport prototype in Singapore. The idea behind eVTOL craft is that one day electric air taxis will be able to offer faster and more convenient travel across busy cities without causing pollution problems. The prototype Voloport will be built in the next few months, with the first scheduled public flight trials due to take place in the second half of 2019. To date, General Motors hasn't really done a whole lot when it comes to electric vehicle charging infrastructure, but this week it's announced it's partnering up with US construction company Bethel to install charging stations across the US. Rather than bankroll the operation, however, GM says it plans to offer data and expertise from existing EV owners to help Bethel site charging stations in areas where they're most needed. Meanwhile, Bethel will tackle permitting, engineering and building, but the two firms are looking for partners to provide the financial backing. And now it's time for short shorts. Hyundai has unveiled a brand new all-electric double-decker bus, complete with a range of 300 kilometers per charge from a 384 kilowatt-hour battery pack. It apparently recharges from empty to full in 72 minutes. Byton says it will be ready to start producing production-intent versions of its M-Byte electric SUV on its Chinese production line by the end of July. Deliveries in China will then start by the end of this year, with other markets to follow. The German government is considering doubling its incentive programs for electric car purchases from €2,000 to €4,000. If passed, it will apply to both battery and fuel cell electric cars with a purchase price of less than €30,000. Ireland's National Rail Service is looking to turn on diesel trains and switch over to electric, opening up a tender process for up to 600 battery electric trains. It currently only has one electrified rail line at present, so battery electric trains make total sense, especially in rural areas. More rumours surfaced this week around a refreshed Model S, stating that a refreshed Model S will launch this September with a Model 3-style minimalist interior. At the same time, the Model Y is now expected to be produced in Fremont rather than in Reno. The Israeli city of Tel Aviv is looking to ban all polluting vehicles from its streets by 2025, with a roadmap to encourage both public and private fleets to make the switch by then. It will be the city's first big push to electric vehicles since Better Place closed down in Israel in 2013. Elon Musk took to Twitter this week to voice his concerns that Tesla is being targeted like never before by big oil and traditional automakers. He stated that FUD, fear, uncertainty and doubt, being pushed against Tesla has, quote, reached new heights. Jaguar has confirmed the XJ sedan will enter production next month, with a 10-year-old model due to be replaced in 2020. While Jaguar hasn't officially confirmed this, sources close to the company say it will be replaced by an all-electric XJ. The Ninebot Max, an electric scooter by Segway with a range in excess of 40 miles per charge, has raised more than $1 million in its first 10 days on Indiegogo. Backers can still get involved for the next 21 days. Workhorse, the EV and drone company that President Trump said would be buying the former GM Lordstown facility, isn't doing as well as the president suggested. Recently stating it needs $22 million just to stay in business, it's unlikely that the factory purchase will happen without some serious backing. In the same week that the US Department of Energy rebranded CO2, Freedom Molecules, and natural gas, Freedom Gas, the current administration is restricting climate change forecasts to 2040 only, essentially eliminating the worst forecasts for the future, which go well beyond that date. The UK National Franchise Dealers Association and the UK Energy Savings Trust have launched a new programme designed to help consumers identify dealerships and garages that are EV friendly. Called the Electric Vehicle Approved Scheme, it will certify dealerships who are ready to sell and work on EVs. Chinese automaker Niro has announced a partnership with state-owned GAC to build and sell electric cars in China. Called the GAC Niro New Energy Vehicle Company, the partnership will sell a range of cars to Chinese consumers. NIO's US plans, meanwhile, are still on ice. Kia has officially announced a recall for all Kia Niro hybrid and plug-in hybrid models in Europe to replace a high-voltage relay which may overheat in some circumstances. No injuries or fires have been reported, but the recall is being carried out free of charge. Norfolk-based Lotus Cars, that's where I'm from, has released a teaser for the Type 130, a limited production all-electric hypercar it plans to launch July 16th. But 130 examples only will be made. And those are your shorts. There will be more next week. Tesla has officially opened the order books for the Model 3 electric car in New Zealand, Japan, Ireland, Macau and Australia, ending what's been a really long wait for Tesla fans in all of these countries. Meanwhile, in the UK, where order books have been open for some time, Tesla has now apparently nixed the Model 3 rear-wheel drive long-range variant completely, meaning the only two variants you can buy in right-hand drive countries are the Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus and Tesla Model 3 dual-motor all-wheel drive performance. The good news, though, the latter is now a lot cheaper than it once was for British buyers, so that's good. Towing a plane with a car to show how powerful it isn't exactly a new idea in the automotive world. Volkswagen's done it, and so too did Tesla. But now we can add Mini to the list after BMW published a new TV ad in which a camouflaged Mini Cooper SE EV is shown towing BMW's I-branded Boeing 777F. After getting the plane to a suitable position, the video shows the all-electric Mini detaching its tug position and riding an elevator inside the cargo plane. The ad will be coming to a TV screen near you very soon. And finally, the Chevrolet Bolt EV is something of a forbidden fruit in many parts of the world, with limited production for the European market, where it's sold as the Opel Ampera E, if you can buy one that is, and absolutely no availability in any right-hand drive markets. But this week, a Chevrolet Bolt EV was spotted in Australia, complete with warning labels noting that it was a left-hand drive development vehicle. It's postulated that it was in Australia undergoing testing for potential export to Australia and New Zealand, either as an official Holden Bolt EV or a grey market import converted by many different companies to right-hand drive to meet import regulations. When I know more, I will certainly share. And on that note, it's the end of this week's show. Don't forget to like, comment and share, bash the notification bell and support us through Patreon, Ko-fi or by buying some of our merch from our merch store. There will be no show this time next week as I'm going to be in the UK with some of the team for Fully Charged Live. But we do have a few videos lined up for you in the interim. And if you're a Patreon supporter in the UK, please check out details of our Patreon meetup, which we're planning for the evening of Friday, June 7th, just down the road from the Silverstone racetrack. I'm looking forward to seeing as many of you as I possibly can at Fully Charged Live in the UK, but if you can't make it, don't worry, I'll be back very soon. Until then, don't forget to be better, smarter, and kinder to one another. And as always, keep evolving.